this only causes difficulty for you and everybody else. Don't serve yourself, but serve God. God is the one who has the qualities that you admire, that you love, and that you want to serve. And God is the one who can actually reciprocate your love. Others cannot. Other people can never reciprocate your love perfectly. Other people can never give back the service that you are giving to them with your love and affection. There's always going to be some problem, some difficulty, some imperfection, some nonsense. Just like these rascals down the street playing their stupid rap music. They don't understand. They still think that pleasure in life comes from serving oneself. So they inconvenience everybody around them and by giving them something that they don't want. Well, God doesn't do this. When we approach Him in love, when we approach Him offering service, guess what? He reciprocates. But He doesn't reciprocate like others. Others want to make a deal with us. You give me this, I'll give you that. You offer me something that I desire, and I'll offer you something that you desire. Well, that's mundane love. It's like a business deal. Give me this, I'll give you that. But real love is, I'll offer you this with no strings attached. Just because I find it beautiful to please you, to serve you. Like that. So when we approach God like that, He reciprocates in the same way. He already knows what we find beautiful, what we love, what we find attractive and valuable. He knows everything about you and me and everybody else. So whatever we offer to God, if we offer it to Him with love, He returns that love. But not in equal measure. He returns it hundreds and thousands of times more. Because after all, He's the unlimited source of love. We are a limited source of love. So if we give whatever love, whatever affection, whatever attention, or whatever we have to offer to God, then His reciprocation is on His scale. It's on His level. It's in His quantity, in His quality. So we have to understand that loving God is the most pleasing, the most beneficial, the most wonderful experience in life. There can't be anything better. There can't be anything greater. Because God is the supreme source and reservoir of everything desirable, of everything enjoyable. And that's the meaning of the name Krishna. Krish means a reservoir or unlimited source, and na means pleasure in Sanskrit. So He's the reservoir of pleasure. He's also the supreme enjoyer. He's also the controller, the owner, the creator, and all of that stuff. But those are actually secondary qualities of God. The primary quality of God is that He's the source or reservoir of everything beautiful, everything enjoyable, everything wonderful. He's the reservoir of pleasure. Krishna. So we chant the name of Krishna because Krishna, although God has many, many names, He has thousands and thousands and millions of names, even in the Vedic tradition. What to speak of others? So we worship the name Krishna because Krishna, the supreme enjoyer or the reservoir of pleasure, is the constitutional nature of God. Just like the constitutional nature of the soul is to serve God, the constitutional nature of God is to be the reservoir of everything that we enjoy. He's the origin, He's the source. So when we worship Him like that, then He reciprocates like that. The demons worship God as death. as ultimate defeat at the hands of the laws of material nature, especially time. So the demons see God as their adversary, and they try to fight against time. They try to fight against death. They try to fight against the laws of God, and to do something that actually God doesn't want. And then when they do that, of course, they get the reciprocation from God too. So their reciprocation from God is that they're put into difficulty. They're put into all kinds of problems. They have to go through so much nonsense because they are trying to fight against God. Just like people, when they get sick at the end of their lives and it's time for them to leave the body, what do? They go to the hospital and they spend thousands of dollars on doctors and medicine, operations and procedures and all this stuff. And what is the result of that? Does it prolong their life even by a few minutes? No. No. A person leaves the body at the time that it's destined. And that has been destined since the time of their birth. So we cannot extend our lives by paying millions and millions of dollars. So why even make the effort? Why struggle against God? Why struggle against time and death? These things are inevitable. Rather, we should approach God with love and offer service. Devotional service means that we offer our love, our affection, and our work to God. Everyone is working in this material world for some kind of benefit. But like we pointed out, that benefit is only temporary. And it's also imperfect. It can't really satisfy us. So instead of offering these gifts of our work or the results of our work to ourselves in selfishness, when we offer them to God in love, instead of becoming a source of trouble, they become a source of joy, of liberation, a source of perfection, instead of a source of downfall. But we should understand that our work is meant to please God. And when we offer the results of our work to God, then again, God reciprocates. Do we think that God is some impersonal entity, far, far away, detached from everything? No. No. God is very personal, very real, and very present in all of our lives. And if we treat him that way, he reciprocates that way. The point I'm making here is made in the Bhagavad Gita very clearly by Krishna. He says, Ye yata mang prapajante. As they surrender unto me, I reciprocate with them. So if we treat God as an enemy, he treats us as an enemy. If we treat him as an impersonal non-entity off in some other dimension, then he treats us like that. If we treat God as the greatest friend, as the greatest beloved, then he treats us like that. He becomes our friend. He becomes our beloved. And he gives us great spiritual pleasure because it pleases him to do that. The point is, the initiative in the relationship is on us. We have to take the relationship to approach God. Because you notice, you don't see God just walking down the street. He's hidden in this world. We have to see God with the eye of wisdom. That means we have to use the knowledge in the scriptures to approach him in the way that he instructs. And then maybe he'll reveal himself to us by his will. We can't force him. God is not subject to our religious processes and rules. Some religious people try to say that when we offer God something that he's obligated to respond. He's obligated to give us some good return. But this isn't true because God is always free. God is always independent. He makes the rules. He's not subject to the rules. So we are subject to the rules, and if we break them, we suffer. But God is always free, and when He reciprocates with us, He does so out of His free will. Therefore, He gives us free will. Our problem is that we misuse our free will because we don't have spiritual knowledge. When we get spiritual knowledge, we realize, oh, all this effort I've been making to try to please myself, really, I should be offering that to try to please God. And when we do that, God responds. Not mechanically, not forced by some laws, because He is the law. His will is the law. But by His own sweet will, by His own independence, spontaneously.